very good afternoon. Myself is Dr. Rakhi Mishra, working as an associate professor in NIT Pharmacy Institute, Greater Noida. Today I am giving my lecture on the topic urinary tract anti-infective agents. I am covering this topic as in part 3 in this lecture, because previously I have given 2 lectures on the same topic, urinary tract anti-infective agents. So, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the quinolones and fluoroquinolones, right. So, now this is anti-UTI agent in the form of nalidixic acid. What is this nalidixic acid? We have already discussed that quinolones are there which are active against gram positive. Then the fluoroquinolones are discovered which are active for gram positive as well as gram negative and many other bacteria also, right. So, the first generation fluoroquinolones, this nalidixic acid is first generation fluoroquinolones, or you can see or you can call it as quinolones. It is a quinolone, okay. This is a quinolone. So, this nalidixic acid is the first of the synthetic quinolone antibiotic. In a technical sense, it is a naphthalidone, not a quinolone, okay, because you can see here that it is having 2 nitrogen. Its ring structure is 1,8 naphthyridine nucleus. Why 1,8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, it is 1,8 naphthyridine nucleus that contains 2 nitrogen atom, unlike quinoline which has a single nitrogen atom. Nalidixic acid is having 2 nitrogen atom, but other derivatives we talk about, they are having 2. You can see, actually I am going to show this. This nalidixic is having 2 nitrogen atom, but other quinolones are having only 1 nitrogen atom in their nucleus. This is the difference which the point is there in that slide, okay. Again moving towards the nalidixic acid, okay. So, this is the structure of nalidixic acid. It is 1,8 naphthyridine nucleus with having 2 nitrogen atom. Then if we talk about its mechanism, in the previous lecture we have also discussed, now again I am discussing in detail, more detail. Nalidixic acid, what it is doing? Nalidixic acid and related antibiotic are inhibiting a subunit of DNA gyrase and topoisomerase 4. It is inhibiting 2 enzyme, DNA gyrase and topoisomerase 4, and they are inducing formation of cleavage complexes. It is also inhibits the nicking closing activity of subunit of DNA gyrase that release the positive binding stress on the supercoiled DNA. I will tell you how. Basically what will happen, this, see again I am telling you, bacteria will undergo binary fission and it will form 2 daughter bacterial cell. What it will form? 2 daughter bacterial cell. How? Because it is undergoing the process of binary fission. What is the meaning of binary fission? Initially the mother or the bacterial DNA is like this, is having 2 strands, right, but when it is going, it is separating these strands, it is forming a complementary copy of this, and then this first mother strand and the complementary strands are joining together, and now you can see that the mother, or you can say the main native DNA strand of bacteria is this, and the daughter DNA strands are one strand is of mother, or you can say the native, and one strand is complementary. All this process is occurring. You can see here it is double stranded, but in the next step it is having the single strand only. All this process is occurring because of the activity of DNA gyrase. So, what it is doing? This DNA gyrase is doing the 3 activity, nicking, supercoiling. In fact, it is inhibiting this supercoiling, and third one is resealing. Please keep these 3 points in your mind. The DNA gyrase is having these 3 activity. What are these 3 activity? Nicking. Nicking means to separate something. Inhibition of supercoiling, and the third one is resealing. This DNA gyrase is having 2 types of agent. What these 2 types of subunits are? Subunit A and subunit B. Now, A will do the nicking and resealing, and the B is doing the inhibition of supercoiling. Please keep these points in your mind, then only you can write and discuss its mechanism. When we talk about fluoroquinolones, when we talk about quinolones, they basically are inhibiting the enzyme that is DNA gyrase. This DNA gyrase is made up of 2 subunits, subunit A and subunit B. These both subunits perform 3 action: nicking, inhibition of supercoiling, and resealing. This nicking and the third action, that is resealing, is done by subunit A, and the inhibition of supercoiling, that this is done by DNA gyrase subunit B. Now, what all the fluoroquinolones are doing? They are going and binding to A subunit. What they are doing? They are binding to subunit A of DNA gyrase. Now, you will tell ki if they go and bind with the subunit A, then what will happen? 2 action will be prevented. What are those 2 action? Nicking and resealing, right? The nicking, if a drug goes, means this DNA gyrase is helping in 2 function, nicking and resealing. Now, if fluoroquinolones is administered to the patient, and if it goes and binds to this subunit A, these 2 functions are inhibited. These 2 functions are nicking and resealing. Now, I will tell you what will happen. Initially, we have seen कि the DNA strands or the duplex DNA of bacterial cell, this is main bacteria, okay. It is having these 2 strands, okay. Now, what will happen? They are separating into 2 single strands. This is called nicking, and who is helping for this nicking? The DNA gyrase enzyme. Now, what will happen? The separation of this single strand will not occur, and if separation of single strand will not occur, complementary DNA, or though you can say mRNA, will not be formed, and if mRNA will not be formed, they will not, the daughter bacterial DNA will not have duplex in nature. So, they will not be survive, they will not survive. This nalidixic acid, what it is doing? It is inhibiting a subunit. What type of subunit? Subunit A, 2 of DNA gyrase. And what is the action of topoisomerase? I will again tell you. This is mother, okay, double stranded DNA, right. Now, what will happen? This double stranded DNA will be uncoiled, and just wait a minute, this is unwind, and this will have a complementary, I don't know what is happening, this will have a complementary DNA, right, and all the things is occurring simultaneously. I am showing you that they are separate, but they are occurring only in one cell. Now, what is happening? This all action will be done by DNA gyrase. Now, the question is, within a cell, if there are 2 parent DNA strands and 2 complementary. Now they have to separate into 2 daughter DNA. This separation of daughter DNA can be done with the help of this topoisomerase 4. Getting my point? Ki DNA gyrase is doing the nicking and resealing, okay? But now we have to separate this DNA, the 2 strands with the complementary DNA into 2 daughter cell, because this is one complementary, this is one complementary, this is one mother, this is one main DNA, and this is complementary, this is complementary. Now you can see that this DNA have given, this bacteria have given rise to 2 bacterial cell. So this separation is done with the help of topoisomerase 4. Now what will happen if any type of drug is inhibiting both enzyme DNA gyrase as well as topoisomerase 4. Now what will happen? Nicking, closing and release of positive binding stress on the supercoiled DNA will not take place, because of which daughter bacterial cells are not produced. Is it okay? Okay. Now next drug is norfloxacin. You can see here the structure of norfloxacin, very interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see at the first position we have substituted it with ethyl group. Second position is not substituted. Third is left as untreated. Fourth is not altered. Fifth pe there is no substitution. Sixth is not altered. Seventh pe we have increased this substitution. So you can see the main motive of this norfloxacin is, you can see that the basic 1, 2, 3, 4 positions are not altered. Only the H is replaced with ethyl group, because in order to increase the pharmacokinetics, in order to alter the pharmacokinetics of this. So the norfloxacin is sold under the brand name Noroxin. Among others, it is an antibiotic that belongs to a class of fluoroquinolone antibiotics. Okay. It is used to treat urinary tract infection, gynecological infection, inflammation of the prostate gland, gonorrhea and bladder infection. You can see that norfloxacin is used to treat mainly urinary tract infection, either it is a bladder infection or other type of infection. Mechanism: it is a quinolone, or you can say fluoroquinolone antibiotic. It is bactericidal in nature, and mode of its action is, it causes the blockage of bacterial DNA replication by binding itself to an enzyme called DNA gyrase. And what this DNA gyrase is doing? It is allowing the untwisting. Untwisting means separation. What is the meaning of this untwisting? Untwisting is nicking. I have told you, nicking, inhibition of supercoiling and resealing. These are the 3 action of DNA gyrase enzyme. So what it is doing? It is binding to DNA gyrase and it is allowing the untwisting, which is required to replicate one DNA double helix into 2. Again I am telling you the same thing, ki one DNA of bacteria is like this, it have to give rise to this strands. So what will happen? If it is binding to DNA gyrase, then this will not occur. So we are talking about the ciprofloxacin. It is an antibiotic which is used to treat a number of bacterial infection, right? And if we talk about its structure, then you can see here its structure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see here that the first position, it is again cyclopropyl, as we have discussed in my previous lecture about the SAR studies. Second position is left unsubstituted, third is COH group, fourth is C double bond O, fifth is unsubstituted, sixth is F and seventh is this. What is the meaning of F here? It is active against gram negative bacteria also. And I am not discussing in detail the SAR study of all, because we have already seen the general structure activity relationship of all the fluoroquinolones. Okay. So it is an antibiotic which is used to treat a number of bacterial infection. The infection can be in the bone, in the joint, intra-abdominal infection, certain type of infection like diarrhea, respiratory tract infection, skin infection, typhoid fever, urinary tract infection and also others. Mechanism, again I am telling you that it is a bactericidal antibiotic of fluoroquinoline drug, and it is giving its action by inhibiting bacterial DNA topoisomerase and DNA gyrase. In the various example, we have discussed that DNA gyrase is responsible for nicking, inhibition of supercoiling, resealing, and if all these fluoroquinolones goes and binds with a subunit, if they are binding with a subunit of DNA gyrase, then what they are doing? They are stopping the process of nicking and also the process of resealing. Okay? And if they are inhibiting the topoisomerase also, they are also inhibiting the separation of DNA into daughter cells. So, you can see here कि if it is going and binding to A subunit, what it is doing? It is inhibiting the process of nicking, resealing, and it is also inhibiting the topoisomerase enzyme. That means, it is inhibiting the separation of DNA into daughter cells. So, in this way it is you can say helpful for treatment of UTI or urinary tract infection. Next is ofloxacin. It is a quinolone antibiotic which is useful for the treatment of bacterial infection when taken by mouth or injection into a vein. These include pneumonia, means it can be used for these infection, for the treatment of these infection. Pneumonia, cellulitis, urinary tract infection, prostatitis, plague, certain type of infectious diarrhea also. It is a quinolone derivative or an antibiotic which is useful for the treatment of bacterial infection when taken by infection into a mouth. If we talk about its mechanism is also same. It is inhibiting the DNA gyrase and topoisomerase 4, okay, and it is binding with the A subunit of this DNA gyrase. The action is same. Now, moving towards the lomifloxacin. Lomifloxacin is a fluoroquinolone antibiotic which is used to treat bacterial infection. The infection can be like urinary tract infection or bronchitis. It is used to prevent UTI prior to surgery. This is very important कि sometimes during the surgery or after the surgery a patient can have UTI. So, to overcome or to avoid that type of UTI infection before surgery, this is used to prevent the UTI infection. This part of lomifloxacin is very important and very interesting, that before the surgery a doctor can give you a lomifloxacin in order to prevent the UTI which a patient which is going to have a surgery, it can have. Lomifloxacin is associated with phototoxicity and central nervous system adverse effects. These are the adverse effect. It is associated with phototoxicity and central nervous system adverse effect. The mechanism, it involves inhibition of bacterial topoisomerase 4 and DNA gyrase required for DNA replication, transcription, repair and recombination. Many examples we have already discussed. See, one thing is very interesting for you people, that if in your exams or if anywhere else it have been asked that what is the mechanism of action of fluoroquinolones, right. So, only one mechanism of all the fluoroquinolones are there, either they belong to generation 1 or to second or to third or to fourth. The only mechanism is they inhibit the enzyme DNA gyrase. Are you getting my point? If you keep this thing in your mind, then you can write this answer ki they inhibit DNA gyrase enzyme. DNA gyrase is having two subunits, subunit A and subunit B. It is going and binding to the A subunit, and by binding to the A subunit, it is you can say inhibiting the process of nicking and resealing. Okay. Next is sparfloxacin. All these drugs are given in your syllabus. That's why I am covering these drugs individually. The mechanism is same, but I am covering this individually because it is mentioned in your syllabus in the same way. Sparfloxacin, it is a fluoroquinolone antibiotic which is used in the treatment of bacterial infection. It has a controversial safety profile. It was patented in 1985 and approved for medical uses in 1993. Right, it is not now no longer available in the United States. Right, it is a fluoroquinolone antibiotic indicated for bacterial infection. It exerts its antibacterial action by inhibition of bacterial DNA gyrase. This I have already mentioned ki by inhibiting the DNA gyrase all the fluoroquinolones are working. Next is enoxacin. It is an oral broad spectrum fluoroquinolones antibacterial agent which is used in the treatment of urinary tract infection, gonorrhea. Insomnia is a common adverse effect of this drug. Right. If we talk about enoxacin, it is a oral broad spectrum fluoroquinolones antibacterial agent which is used for the treatment of urinary tract infection and gonorrhea. If we talk about the adverse effect, insomnia is a common adverse effect. It is again not available. See, this point is very important. In United States, this enoxacin is not available. The initial one which we have discussed, sparfloxacin, is also no longer available in the United States. This thing you should keep in your mind ki what type of fluoroquinolones, what are the examples of those fluoroquinolones which are inhibited for use in the USA or United States. Okay. So, as we talk about enoxacin, it is also not available or not in the use for United States. It has been shown recently that it may have cancer inhibiting effect. This point is again very important ki this enoxacin is it is observed that it is having some anti-cancer effect also, right. So, enoxacin is a quinolone or fluoroquinolone antibiotic. We have already discussed in the examples. It is bactericidal in nature, you can see here, and again it is helping or it is you can say it is inhibiting the infection by binding to an enzyme. The name of that enzyme is DNA gyrase. Again and again I am telling you that this DNA gyrase is the only enzyme, is the only main enzyme which is inhibited by all fluoroquinolones. Along with this DNA gyrase, topoisomerase enzymes are also there, right. So, what it is doing? It is inhibiting the enoxacin is bactericidal. Its mode of action depends on blocking of bacterial DNA replication by binding itself to an enzyme called DNA gyrase. This DNA gyrase is responsible for two actions. The first action is untwisting and the second action is resealing. We have seen that all the fluoroquinolones are going and binding to the subunit A of the DNA gyrase. The next one is gatifloxacin. It is an antibiotic of 4th generation fluoroquinolones like others. It is also inhibiting the bacterial enzyme, that is again the DNA gyrase and topoisomerase 4. It was patented and approved for medical use in the year 1999. Okay. Mechanism, it is a synthetic It is a synthetic broad spectrum methoxyfluoroquinolone antibacterial agent for oral or intravenous administration. Its bactericidal effect is because of the blockage of bacterial DNA, again by binding to an enzyme that is called DNA gyrase. So, again it is inhibiting the enzyme DNA gyrase. Next is moxifloxacin. Moxifloxacin is also an antibiotic which is used to treat a number of bacterial infection like pneumonia, conjunctivitis, endocarditis, tuberculosis, sinusitis. It can be used orally or by an injection into a vein or as an eye or ophthalmic preparation. Common side effects include diarrhea, dizziness and headache. Mechanism again is same. See, I will tell you. Now the question is the enzyme topoisomerase 2 and topoisomerase 4. What is the difference? Very interesting. You will even DNA gyrase. The other name of DNA gyrase is topoisomerase second, and the topoisomerase 4 is responsible for the separation, which I have told you earlier कि for the separation of daughter DNA topoisomerase 4 is responsible. But don't get confused, this topoisomerase second is nothing but it is DNA gyrase. You can either use the name DNA gyrase or you can use the name topoisomerase 4 second, sorry, they both are same. DNA gyrase is an essential enzyme that is involved in the replication, transcription and repair of bacterial DNA. These are the structure. We have seen that this is nalidixic acid, norfloxacin, fluorine is present, ofloxacin, fluorine is present, ciprofloxacin, trovafloxacin, moxifloxacin, all the things fluorines are present. That is why they come in the category of fluoroquinolones. These are the structure: moxifloxacin, gatifloxacin, ciprofloxacin, and all the things you have seen that this COOH group is unsubstituted, because this is the very important group which is responsible for the activity. This fluorine is unsubstituted. Why? Because it is giving the action for gram negative bacteria, right? So, this is, I think, all about the fluoroquinolones which we have to discuss in this lecture. In this lecture we came across different types of fluoroquinolones. This is all about. Thank you very much.